Welcome back to the MOC course on Corporate Social Responsibility. My name is Aradhana Malik and I'm helping you with this course. And we have been talking about the measurement of CSR. Now, in this lecture, I'm going to show you an example of a world-renowned, very credible, reputed CSR responsibility evaluation tool, and that is the RobecoSAM Sustainability Index, which is widely used, and everything here has been taken from their PDF version, which is 106 pages long. So I have condensed everything, but before we get into it, let's watch a video about RobecoSAM and see what it's all about.
3,000 of the world's largest companies to participate in the Corporate Sustainability Assessment. The assessment is based on our core belief that sustainability champions are more successful over the long run. It evaluates how companies across 59 different industries incorporate economic, environmental, and social strategies into their operations. For example, how do companies approach topics like supply chain management or operational eco-efficiency? Or what human capital development policies do companies have in place to attract and retain talent? Companies are compared to their industry peers, and only the top performing 15% from each industry make it into the Sustainability Yearbook. To see which companies have won gold, silver, or bronze medals, visit the Sustainability Yearbook website at yearbook.robecosam.com. RobecoSAM. We are sustainability investing.
Okay, so this is, and the other one, the next video, is the DJSI World Diversified Select Index, which is also, the RobecoSAM is an offshoot of this. So let's see what this is.
Investors are increasingly concerned about the many environmental, social, and economic risks facing the world today, and wish to mobilize their capital to tackle these challenges. But they fear that doing so will come at the expense of performance. But what if there was a way to invest in more sustainable companies while maintaining the same risk profile and financial performance as standard benchmarks? The DJSI Diversified Select Index does just that. Not only does the index exclude companies exposed to controversial activities such as weapons manufacturing, tobacco, alcohol, adult entertainment, and gambling, it also selects the most sustainable companies from each sector based on their performance in the annual RobecoSAM Corporate Sustainability Assessment. Within each country and sector, companies are ranked according to their sustainability profile, and only the top performing companies representing 1/3 of the market cap are selected for inclusion in the index. The index construction methodology is designed to match the country, industry, and size characteristics of standard global benchmarks. The resulting index has an improved sustainability profile, and equally important, a low tracking error. This means that investors can easily switch to the DJSI Diversified Select Index without changing the risk-return profile of their portfolio. There is no longer any excuse for not investing sustainably. DJSI Diversified Select, the No Excuse ESG Index.
So the videos talked about the different types of indexes, very reputed, credible indexes all over the world that are being followed to find out whether the company is doing what it is expected to do. Now let's see what specifically the RobecoSAM criteria are, and this is directly from this from their sample questionnaire that I have here for you. I will give you a link to this. You can go through this questionnaire yourself. This is available through the RobecoSAM website. RobecoSAM is based in Zurich, Switzerland. Company name, so they ask you for your company name, registration data, contact people, etc., all the details about your organization. Then the denominator of your revenues, which means the currency in which your revenues are generated. Then they go on to ask you, they have normalization criteria and normalization factors, and then they go on to asking you about your performance on different dimensions. So let's see, I've condensed everything in this PDF file onto the slides, but all the headings have been taken from this particular PDF file. Okay, so RobecoSAM criteria are on 3 dimensions. What I'm going to do here is I will increase the size of the slide, but I will keep it in this mode because it becomes easier for me to switch from this mode to the PDF file. Okay, RobecoSAM criteria. So you have the economic dimension, environmental dimension, and social dimension. Now, okay, here the economic dimension includes corporate governance, materiality, risks and and crisis management, codes of business conduct, customer relationship management, policy influence, brand management, tax strategy, etc. The impact measurement and valuation. I think I'll have to switch to this mode. Okay, information security and cyber security and privacy protection. Now, corporate governance refers to systems that ensure that a company is managed in the interests of shareholders. These are checks and balances for control and alignment of shareholder and management interests, and these include board structure. Let me show you what the file looks like here, the kinds of questions that are asked. So organizations are asked for their board type, what tier system, do they have a 1-tier system, 2-tier system, etc. Companies with a board, please select whether your company has a 1-tier or 2-tier board. So all this is asked of the company. The companies provide information, and the assumption is that companies will give accurate information. Okay, please, board independence statement is asked. Please indicate if your company has an independent statement for the board of directors in place. Then non-executive chairman or lead director. So all of these points are here. Chairman is non-executive and independent. What kind? Is the board of directors supervisory board headed by a non-executive and independent chairman or an independent lead director? So all of these things, there are questions like these. Then the third part is responsibilities and committees within corporate governance, board committees, functions, responsibilities, the details are asked. Okay. So, do you have a committee in place which is formally responsible for sustainability? If yes, please specify the following about the constitution of the committee. So, you say yes, we have the sustainability committee and it consists only of board members, and then you give the board committee. Or we have a sustainability committee but it's not a formal board committee, so you specify the name of the committee and indicate the committee's composition and give further details. So, or you say no, we do not have a sustainability committee in place. So, a great amount of detail is asked. I am not going to go through all the questions of all the aspects, but I will show you what each thing includes. Okay, so this is diversity policy. Okay, this should be interesting here. The diversity policy. So, does your board nomination policy include diversity factors such as gender, race, ethnicity, country of origin or nationality? Please attach supporting evidence. It's not only you answering things on paper, it is also asking for the relevant documentation. So, a thick packet goes to these people and they assess it, they evaluate it, and go into depth and verify that the information that has been given is worth anything, and then they move to assessing whether you are in the top ranked organizations or not. Now, you will ask, what does diversity or gender have to do with responsibility? This is an example of responsibility to the environment, to the social environment. But this is corporate governance. So, it's corporate governance being responsible for or to the environment that the people are coming from. So, we are trying to be inclusive, we are trying to be connected with our environment. In the earlier lectures, I said that corporate social responsibility is all about connection to your social and physical environment, and that is what is being explored here. So, board effectiveness, average tenure of people, board industry experience, executive compensation, management ownership requirements, compensation disclosure, procedures, details are asked here. Media and stakeholder analysis refers to, it's again an index which judges whether the organization is consistent, the behavior of the management is consistent in different types of crisis situations. So we have MSA for various things. So this is media and stakeholder analysis for corporate governance. Is the corporate governance stable, or is the organization stable in terms of its governance policies, and is it consistent during times of crisis or not? That is what this assesses. So you will see this MSA in various other aspects. Then we have materiality, which refers to the assessment of the company's ability to identify the sources of long-term value creation, understand the link between long-term issues and the business case, and what targets are set to address these issues. And within materiality, you have material issues, economic, environmental and social, and materiality disclosure. These are the things that are assessed. Now, risk and crisis management. We have development of internal control processes and compliance with existing regulations and proactive development of control mechanisms. Within this, risk governance, risks correlation, sensitivity analysis and stress testing is done, emerging risks are assessed, risk culture is assessed, media and stakeholder analysis for risk and crisis management is done. So a lot of things are, and the details for each of these terms are available. This is your homework. Please go through this document, read it, find out what each one entails. Codes of business conduct would include codes of conduct, coverage of codes of conduct, corruption and bribery, systems and procedures, anti-competitive practices, corruption and bribery cases, how many cases were filed, how many were resolved, reporting on breaches against codes of conduct or ethics, again MSA for business ethics. Then customer relationship management is the other aspect of the economic environment, online strategies and customers online, satisfaction management, MSA for CRM. Policy influence, again contributions and other spending, largest contributions and expenditures, the details are all here. Brand management, let's see this. This is a 106-page document, so you are not going to be tested on your knowledge of the document, because you are probably not filing for a RobecoSAM assessment. You haven't been invited. This is again through invitation only. So, but still it helps to know how the rest of the world is assessing things. Here is risk culture. So, what strategies does your company pursue in order to promote and enhance an effective risk culture throughout the organization? Do you give financial incentives? Do you give focused training? Do you include risk management criteria, etc.? So, yeah, this is already 200%, maybe 250%. Okay, all right. So, codes of conduct, corruption and bribery. So, please indicate for which areas corporate codes of conduct have been defined at a group level, including subsidiaries. Please attach supporting evidence. Confidentiality of information, conflicts of interest, antitrust, anti-competitive practices, money laundering, environment, health and safety. Or you say we don't have a group-wide code of conduct, or you say not applicable, and you say why it is not applicable. Why do you not have a code of conduct that in your organization? Or you say I don't know, and that puts you in a very bad light, so you better have something. Coverage. The coverage of your codes of conduct and whether acknowledgement has been obtained and training has been given to people. Do people know that they are supposed to follow a code of conduct or not? So, and people includes employees, contractors, suppliers, subsidiaries, service providers, joint ventures, etc. So, all of this. Then corruption and bribery. Please indicate which of the following aspects are covered by your anti-corruption and bribery policy at a group level, including subsidiaries. So, bribes in any form or any portion of contract payments or soft dollar practices, direct or indirect political contributions. How do you get all this money? Where is, all of that. No anti-corruption and bribery policy. So, then systems and procedures. So, what mechanisms are in place to assure effective implementation of your company's codes of conduct, for example, compliance system. Then responsibilities, accountabilities and reporting lines are systemically defined in all divisions and group companies. dedicated help desks, for example, so what kinds of mechanisms are in place. Then anti-competitive practices. So all of this, corruption and bribery cases. Did your company have any confirmed cases of corruption and bribery in the past 4 fiscal years? No, we did not. Yes, we did. So, and how many ongoing cases are there? So all that is there. Then reporting on breaches. Do you report on breaches of against the code of conduct or ethics? And if yes, how do you do it? So this is the detail that they are asking for. Then is customer relationship management. Then we were talking about policy influence and brand management is what we wanted to get at. I'm sorry. So all this is here. See, policy influence, contributions and other spending. Then we come to CRM, brand management. Okay, brand identification. Please, this question focuses on the relevance of your brand values to target customer. We were talking about the fit between what the company does and what it's known for in the last lecture, and the consistency of brand values reflected in corporate sustainability initiatives. So brand identification, please indicate which brand your answers refer to, the corporate brand or product brand. Then brand values. How do your brand values address your target audience's needs? How does your approach to sustainability reflect your brand values, etc.? So much of detail is there. Brand strategy and sustainability strategy. Brand education. Please describe one initiative you have in place to educate customers and consumers about the brand. Please describe one initiative you have in place to educate your employees on their role in building the brand or to instill the brand values into the corporate culture. So just see brand management metrics, etc. Then here, tax strategy, tax reporting, tax governance and risks, media and stakeholder analysis, tax strategy is there. Then impact measurement and valuation, to assess whether companies have business programs for social needs and if they are measuring and valuing their broader societal impacts. Business programs for social needs, impact valuation, valuation disclosure. Let's look at this. Yeah, here. Do you carry out programs which address a clear social need in a way that they also provide financial benefits to the company? Yes, we have programs. No, we do not carry out such programs. Impact valuation. Does your company measure its environmental and or social profit and loss? That is, do you estimate the monetary value of your positive and or negative externalized impacts? Yes, we conduct a social profit and loss analysis. We value our environmental and social impacts qualitatively or quantitatively, but they are not converted into monetary value. So people who convert these impacts into monetary value are, of course, they are expected to have some sort of method of evaluating what they are doing. Then valuation disclosure. Do you publicly disclose your impacts on social or environmental value or capital? So, for example, yes, this information is publicly available. We have a factory, it's sending out effluents into the environment. This is the amount of damage it's doing to the environment. Okay. So, information security and cyber security. Information security and cyber security strategy and governance, responsibility and employees, process and infrastructure. I am going through the whole list. You will say you are wasting one full lecture. That is not the case. This is just to give people who are interested an idea of the detail these index companies, these companies that come up with these indexes go into in order to ensure that they pick the best of the lot. Like, we saw in the video, only 15% best companies, 15% are skimmed off the top and they make it to the list of top 50. Okay. Privacy protection, responsibility for data privacy, media, customers information, privacy policy, systems and procedures. Then we have environmental dimension. So we were talking about the economic dimension. Environmental dimension has 3 major aspects: environmental reporting, environmental policy and management systems, operational eco-efficiency. Reporting refers to maintaining transparency through appropriate reporting and monitoring at the board level. There's coverage, assurance, and quantitative data. Policy and management systems include corporate environmental policy areas, including the areas that are identified. Environmental management system is a formal management system or a formal system for managing the interaction between the organization and the environment. Certification, audit, verification. So these are standardized systems. Media and stakeholder analysis again. Operational eco-efficiency refers to reduction of the overall environmental footprint and minimization of natural resource consumption and waste generating activities, and effective and eco-friendly waste management. Now all this is also assessed in terms of direct greenhouse emissions, indirect greenhouse emissions, energy consumption and use, water consumption and use, and management of waste. And this is another thing that I should show you here in this document. This is amazing. The detail that these people have gone into is mind boggling. Let me show this to you here. See, environmental, operational eco-efficiency, direct greenhouse emissions. So total greenhouse gas emissions, metric tons carbon dioxide equivalents produced in the past 4 years, third party verification, data consistency, all of this is there. Then indirect greenhouse gas emissions, metric tons of carbon dioxide, direct was carbon monoxide, this is carbon dioxide equivalents, percentage of, etc., etc. So then you have energy. So these questions are asked here. If you see, so all of these questions are asked. Then we have energy consumption and use. Waste management was another one that I thought I would show you. Sorry. Okay. Water, total water use, million cubic meters. Then waste, how much of waste is generated and disposed of. So all of that is assessed here. Then we come to the social dimensions. Okay, that includes social reporting, labor practice indicators, human rights, human capital development, talent attraction and retention, corporate citizenship and philanthropy, occupational health and safety, and stakeholder engagement. Social reporting, coverage, assurance and quantitative data. Labor practice indicators would include diversity, remuneration, freedom of association. Human rights would include commitment, due diligence process, assessment, disclosure, and again MSAs. Human capital development would include training and development inputs, employee development programs, human capital return on investment, return on employee development investment. Talent attraction and retention would refer to type of individual performance appraisals, long-term incentives, employee turnover rate, trend of employee engagement, and again MSAs. Corporate citizenship and philanthropy would refer to the creation of value for both beneficiaries and shareholders, and this assesses the alignment of programs of the organization with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in terms of that. Then group-wide strategy for providing guidance to corporate citizenship, philanthropic activities and type of philanthropic activities, and the input. Let's see what kinds of questions this part has. Okay. Group-wide strategy. Do you have a group-wide strategy? Then you provide supporting documents. So they give you a chance. It's not cut and dry. They give you a chance to express what you have and still fit into this broad framework. So the details are asked. What are your priorities? Again, these are the SDGs. Like you see, 7 sustainable development goals are given. Description of alignment between priority and your business drivers. Please provide supporting evidence. Business benefit key performance indicators. How do you assess that this has provided some benefit to you? no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, which means they are asking you, why are you investing in this? What is it giving you in terms of benefit to your business or in terms of benefit to the society? So you as the organization undertaking these activities are expected to write down, to identify and clearly indicate on this form what is it that you are after, why are you doing what you are doing, and that then includes or that brings in a sense of accountability and self-evaluation. Then here, okay, what are your priorities? Types of philanthropic activities. What kinds of philanthropic activities do you engage in? Charitable donations, investments, commercial investments, incentives, commercial initiatives. Then input. So please estimate the total monetary value of your company's corporate citizenship philanthropic contributions for each of the following categories. Cash contributions, employee volunteering is also accounted for. In-kind giving, you ask people to donate their old clothes, their leftover food, their old medicines, their unused blankets, old blankets, etc. So all of that forms part of the in-kind giving, and that is also included. Then management overheads, you collect all this, then you go to a place and you give all this. So how much money do you spend on hiring a car, for example, or collecting this, or how much time is taken out? It's not volunteering, it is the overheads. So you send out notices, paper is, there's money spent on paper and photocopying and bags and collection and refreshments for the people who are organizing all of this. So that goes into the management overheads. So all of this is here. Then we have occupational health and safety, which includes absentee rate, health, safety and well-being of your employees, healthy lifestyle incentives. Here. Okay, so do you provide stress management information, stress management training? Are your workplaces ergonomic? Is there enough light? What is the noise level, indoor air quality, humidity, temperature, etc.? Then healthy lifestyle incentive. So do you have objectives for healthy lifestyle? Stakeholder engagement is there. Then governance is there. Policies and procedures are there. So we're almost done here. So then stakeholder engagement is the last part of this. We have governance, we have review, and we have MSAs, and that includes external engagement. So a very, very detailed, the document containing the questions is 106 pages long. You can imagine what the total report that is filed by the organizations that are invited to be a part of this index is going to be. So the size of the docket that they submit would run into thousands of pages, but that is required and it is being done year after year because this enhances accountability. We heard in one of the videos that this reporting on Millennium Development Goals had led to a 40% reduction in something, I've forgotten the details now. So there was there is a visible impact on the environment, and then when they publicize their work so much, they're a very selective organization. Here RobecoSAM is and of course the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, they are very, very reputed organizations known for their excellence, and they are putting in so much effort into identifying the companies, the organizations that are taking extra efforts into doing what they are supposed to do for the welfare of the environment. Now, in line with that, then they say that we publicize these results, and they are widely publicized, and that in turn leads investors to opt for the organizations that are more sustainability friendly, so or that are really going to look after the environment, and eventually that will lead to a change in the way people do things. Everybody wants to get into this index. This is by invitation. You do a good job, they will pick you. You do a good job and are known for doing a good job looking after the environment, they will pick you, and that in turn will bring in more revenues for you because people will start investing in what you are doing. So these are the, so a cycle is created. You look after the environment and the environment looks after you. You don't look after the environment doesn't look after you. Now in the next lecture what we will do is we will look at how social responsibility is being assessed in the Indian context, and that is where we will wind up our discussion on measurement and evaluation of CSR. Thank you very much for listening.